We are back at it, boys. Today we have a front end part to install on the Duramax. I've been driving this truck for like the last week, and let me tell you, she rides rough. When I go for a bump, it feels like I'm on a roller coaster. Not good. I'm like 99% sure it's the shocks. I jumped on the front end a little bit, and she likes to bounce up and down. No pun intended. Now, of course, it could be the ball joints. I don't know. We're just gonna start off with the shocks. They're cheap and easy to switch. Then we'll go from there. But check my Carhartt out. I'm just kidding. It's an off-brand one from Costco. I figured why not buy a coat for 30 bucks just to ruin it instead of ruining every single sweatshirt I own. I'll tell you one thing I'm happy about. I just loosened all those with my bar that I got. None of the studs snapped off, so we got a positive right there. Let's hope this thing isn't seized on there. Of course it is. Of course it is. This is gonna be fun, I can tell. Let's put our shoes on. All right. We hit her with the dead blow hammer on the back, or we hit her with the rubber mallet on the back. We got her loose. Only took me 20 minutes. Jeez. Man, this thing hasn't probably been taken off in years. No, I'm just kidding. Probably like a month. So like a number one indicator that your shock's blown is there's oil right here. And to me, it looks like she's pretty wet.
That's what she said.
I'm pretty sure this shock's blown. So basically, there's a nut up here. That thing looks shot. Let's just shove this thing back up here. And then a bolt down here. Stack it up here. As you can see with the wrench, if you just have the top on, it'll just spin. That was so easy. I cannot believe that was that easy. Got the bottom bolt off. Pull this baby out. I mean, by the looks of it, she's not extending back out. I literally have to force it out, and I think she's blown, to be honest. Alrighty, boys, grab your new one. Ones I ordered came with new hardware and everything, so, I mean, when you push this one down, it actually retracts, unlike the factory one. Let's throw the new one in now. I think I might have to grind these sides down a little bit because they don't fit. Alright, we grinded it down now. As you can see, it fits in between there. Then we literally just do it all backwards. As you can see, we still haven't fixed the fuel leak. This is the passenger side and it extends out fine, but that one does not do it at all. All right, we got the second one out. Now we just gotta throw this new one in. Alrighty, boys, it is the next day. We took this thing for a test drive last night, and let me tell you, it didn't go well. You can see we got our second shock done. It's about the only new looking part on the whole truck. So like I said, I took it for a test drive last night. The shocks make it ride a lot better, not gonna lie. But as I was test driving it, I realized there's another problem we have to attend. This thing doesn't have any heat. And it is negative 30 outside right now where I'm at. It did not feel good test driving it. I came up with my own conclusion on what I think it is. When I first bought this truck, the temperature gauge for the motor, it barely, barely. Sometimes it doesn't even get off that 160 number. And I did some research, and the hotter the motor gets, the better the coolant flows. Which if it doesn't get off that tack, it's going to think the motor's, in my mind, that means the coolant isn't flowing as much. I don't know, it might sound stupid. This is just the way I thought. So if the coolant isn't flowing as much, that means the heater core isn't getting the water that it needs. So I grabbed both hoses, and normally if the heater core is bad, one will be cold, one will be hot. They were both lukewarm. That means, in my opinion, that the heater core is not bad. It is not the blend door actuator, the thing that makes it hot or cold, because I manually tried that. So that makes me think this thing needs a thermostat. Just another problem we can add to the list of the hundreds of other things that's wrong with this thing. Woke up this morning and another part came in that we have to replace. If you guys watched the last video, you know that this filter housing leaks a ton of fuel out the top of it. The other day I went to start it and it just wouldn't start. I needed to prime it, and then it did. So that made me think, oh, I need to order a new housing. I went to prime it. It started leaking a ton of fuel out of it. So we're replacing that today. First thing we need to do is disconnect these fuel lines and then take the two 12mm bolts out from here, and that's it. As you can see, the water separator line pulled totally out of the filter. So the housing that I ordered actually came with the filter and the new wires. So that's good. I'm gonna grab the new one. Throw my... Looks like I ain't gonna be able to do this today. I gotta wait. So you can see how these ones come straight out. There's no angle on them. Well, these ones are angled. So this is for an LB7. This is for an LOY. I made the mistake and ordered an 04 one, not thinking about there's a motor difference in between that year. So I gotta order one for an LOY. Third project for the video is the hardest one by far. As you can see here, if I grab the door, give her a good shove, she doesn't close all the way. And I'm talking like a good shove. Still not closed all the way. And that would be because of the door pins that sit right here and right here on the inside. They cost literally $10 to replace. But the hard part is you have to grind off the old ones and take the door off. And if you're in my case, you're doing it by yourself. Not very fun. So yeah, we're gonna start by doing that. We got 2 plugs right here that need to be unplugged right here. This just pops off. We got 3 10 mils, 1, 2, 3, and then the door should pop right off. I'm kinda scared, I gotta do this by myself. So what we got here, guys, is it's not supposed to move that much. Same with this one. So we're gonna go ahead and replace those. So from my understanding, we have to grind this little nub off on the bottom because this washer won't fall out unless you do so. All right, boys, it looks like the top 2 were the only bad ones. The bottom ones aren't really bad at all. I'm gonna do with that what I will. This thing up. All right, boys, it is now day 4 of trying to get this thing running. We got the new one in. Let me show you all the difference between the 2. So this is for an LB7, this is for an LOY. Technically, they're both 404s, different motors though. So if you ever go to replace it, make sure to get the right one. So yesterday, I cleaned the engine bay up a little bit, and I connected the fuel lines on this one, so I gotta disconnect them again. All right, boys, well, we got her running. She's looking pretty mint. I washed the engine bay yesterday. But as far as the door pins go, we got that all fixed before this thing didn't even shut. I got the keys in it, so we go ahead and shut it. Latches right away. Doesn't leak fuel out of the housing anymore. And it looks pretty nice because it's all brand new. Now we have to go ahead and replace the thermostats in it because 1, this thing doesn't get up to temp, and 2, I don't have any heat. So that makes me think it's the thermostats. But yeah, we gotta go ahead and do that now. It feels like it's a never-ending problem on fixing this thing. Holy cow. Never ending. I just want to do aftermarket stuff to it already. I hate fixing it all the time.